Now, joining us is Eric Mandel, founder and director of the Middle East Political Information Network and senior editor for security at the Jerusalem Report. Thank you for coming on.
My pleasure.
So this process of Egypt returning the sovereignty of these two islands to Saudi Arabia has been going on for several years now. So it has something changed, or what has changed now recently that would indicate that maybe this could bring together closer Saudi Arabia and Israel, and maybe even be the first breakthrough in a normalization agreement?
So up until now, the Biden administration hasn't wanted to waste any political capital on the Abraham Accords or extending them. I know this directly from the ranking member of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, because anything that was Trump, he did the opposite. But now things are different. So why would President Biden want to do this? One, he could be rejoining the JCPOA and using this as something to deflect attention or give some concessions to the people who will be most affected by it, Egypt, the Gulf states, and especially Israel. He needs an accomplishment, President Biden, because he's flying over to Israel, and he would extend this to meet with the rest of the Gulf states. And so that is another possibility. And it's also possible that this is part of a rapprochement between the United States and Saudi Arabia for both their interests, because America wants the Saudis to release the tap on their fossil fuels, which is having a drag on the U.S. and the world economy. And the Saudis and the UAE have not been interested. So possibly this is about helping President Biden domestically and helping the whole world. If he could do that, that would be a significant accomplishment.
But still, these two islands are slated to go back to Saudi Arabia due to an agreement between Saudi Arabia and Egypt. Yes, Israel is involved. Part of the peace treaty between Israel and Egypt stipulates that those islands need to be demilitarized. Of course, Israel has bad memories from the days when Egypt closed the Straits of Hormuz because they controlled those islands. That's one of the events that led to the Six-Day War. So yes, Israel is involved, but in the end of the day, Saudi Arabia are on track to get back these islands, albeit with some Israeli demands concerning that. So why do they really need, for instance, the Biden administration here? What is extra value is the Biden administration, or Israel for that matter, granting the Saudis in this case?
Well, first of all, from the Israel point of view, Israel's trade relations go east, and Israel would get flights over a good part of Saudi Arabia. Right now, they're just over the eastern part to Bahrain, Abu Dhabi, and Dubai. This would allow them to have shorter flights to India, Thailand, and China, big trading partners of Israel. So this actually economically would be a good thing. You know, some things are more about perception than anything else, and the perception here that the U.S. is reaching out to Saudi Arabia. Because remember, Biden and the Biden team wanted to make Saudi Arabia a pariah, quote unquote. The Khashoggi affair was obviously the leading point about this. Other people, especially from the progressive wing in his party, talked very much about the human rights of Saudi Arabia. They ignored human rights in Iran, but on Saudi Arabia, they wanted to put this on. So it's a lot about the new geopolitical situation. The president may be joining the JCPOA. Saudi Arabia needs to get closer to the United States. It needs to get back anti-defense missiles. Israel would like to get closer. So this may be all in their interest, and these islands could be a pretext to show that there's an accomplishment Saudi Arabia is getting. Egypt also is not interested in Iran getting nuclear weapons. So I've spoken to the Saudi embassy in Washington, and I can tell you that they are trying, and maybe they need to try harder to thread the needle, because they see themselves as the leader of the Arab world. And they don't believe they really can go forward unless there's advancement on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict front. And so what could possibly happen? I don't believe the Saudis can go too far out ahead here. They were okay. They would like the Abraham Accords to let other people go out. But maybe this could lead first to a more public relationship, and this is I've been advocating for, between the Saudis and the Israelis. Maybe another nation in the Gulf can get on, maybe Kuwait, maybe Oman, to the Abraham Accords. And these are all carrots for Israel. But this is always in relation into the larger picture of American energy needs, world energy needs, Iran, the Iran deal, and always as the backdrop, the group that's always holding everything up here at this point of time are the Palestinians and their intransients, and can get them to maybe play a little ball.
Certainly what you're describing there, all sides need something from the other, and maybe that can lead to everybody getting something and actually making progress. Eric Mandel, founder and director of the Middle East Political Information Network and senior editor for security at Jerusalem Report, thank you for coming on.
My pleasure.